Before I lost the 80 pounds, I moved through life completely unaware that I was treated so differently from the people around me. Well, hello there. You could probably tell from the title what this video is going to be about. It's going to be like a discussion, a talk, a venting, I guess you could say. But before I get into it, I want to say and introduce myself. My name is Erin, and I post weight loss content. I am a little me on very big YouTube, and I work from home. I am a mother to an 11-year-old boy and a wife to a Navy sailor, and we're a military family that moves around a lot. And I have lost 80 pounds in the last year and a half. Really 2 years, but I like to say year and a half because I didn't take it very seriously the first 6 months. I yo-yoed quite a bit. So it was about a year and a half that I've really buckled down and actually seen a lot of progress, thus losing 80 pounds. Please don't mind Loki in the background. He was a gift from my husband on my birthday last year, and he's kind of followed us around ever since then. A lot of things have changed since I lost weight. I have changed throughout losing weight. There are things that are more noticeable than other things, and that's what I want to talk about one of them today. I have lost 80 pounds through several different things that have helped me. Weight Watchers, eating in a calorie deficit. I kind of flip-flop between the two of them. I don't put a whole lot of thought into the diet. Those are just tools. Counting calories or counting points on Weight Watchers are just like tools I use to lose weight. I do intuitive eating also when I'm not actively tracking anything, and that helps. In reality, I've just changed a lot about my lifestyle, and I put most of the credit towards making those types of changes. Drinking a lot of water as opposed to sugary drinks, moving my body 100 times more than I was moving it before, and making healthier food choices and controlling my portions. Those are like the main things that have helped me. Obviously, tracking points or calories is a huge part of it. You cannot lose weight if you don't eat in a calorie deficit. That's just, you have to be expending more calories than you're bringing in if you want to lose weight effectively. So not that that's not super, super important. Your diet is 99% of it. I would honestly argue that it's 50% diet, 40% mental, and 10% moving your body. You don't have to do crazy workout routines and stuff to lose weight. You just don't have to. It helps tremendously if you do. But I'm not going to go into like huge detail on what I do. I exercise very little, and I've lost 80 pounds. I move my body 100 times more than I used to. And that's not to say I do not go to the gym. I do not do anything crazy physically. I went from being sedentary to walking a lot, to getting up out of my chair a lot, to making sure I'm standing from where I'm working, because I do work from home. Just moving my body in general has hugely helped me. I'm not going to go into like super long detail about how I've lost the 80 pounds, how I'm continuing to lose weight. You can follow me. I do a lot of like what I eat in a day videos and talking about all of that. And like slowly I'm starting to get more content out, like how to get started. And this video, I try to post like on Fridays, or I am trying to post on Fridays more like in-depth content about like weight loss in general. But every Wednesday I post what I eat in a day, and I do discuss a lot of it there. My YouTube channel is an outlet, a diary, and it's fun. And so I don't take it too seriously. I have another job, I have a house, I have a husband and a son. So I prioritize it, obviously, but it's not my main priority. So sometimes I might be late, so please forgive me. I dabble on YouTube, I should say. I just dabble. That's not to say I don't want to grow. So if you are interested in that kind of content, you can subscribe to my channel. I feel so weird asking people to do that. Now that that's out of the way, a lot of things changed for me after I started to lose weight significantly, and after I was able to start keeping that weight off, because that was a big part. I've always managed, my weight is always yo-yoed all the time for as long as I can remember, but I've never been able to lose more than 10 to 20 pounds and keep it off until now. So now is when I started to notice like huge differences in my lifestyle and how I'm treated and the changes in my body and my mental state. A lot of these things like changed slowly over time. They weren't noticeable like right away. And that includes like how people treated me in public. It just didn't, I wasn't affected by it immediately. I lived overweight for so long, over 300 pounds. I lived and I went in public and I was used to the way people treated me. I had started to gain a significant amount of weight right after high school, and I'm currently 33 years old. So I went a very, very long time used to the way that I was treated in public, to the point where I didn't notice it being so horrible until after the fact, until things started to change for me. Obviously, they changed for the better, but that it almost had like a negative effect on my mindset. Before I lost the 80 pounds, I moved through life completely unaware that I was treated so differently from the people around me. And I've slowly come to that realization because I've slowly noticed it change throughout the last year and a half, to where now when I'm actively thinking about it, when I'm out in public, when I'm actively watching the people around me, it is so noticeable. It's honestly very depressing and disheartening because I didn't realize how badly I was treated before then until now. I was completely unaware of how horrible it was. Because the truth is, people do treat you differently when you are obese. They just do. And I'm still currently overweight. I still have quite a bit of weight to lose. And I am honestly curious in a very dark kind of way about how differently people will treat me from now until if I manage to get the rest of the weight off. Maybe I don't realize how bad it still is. Maybe I can't see that because I haven't been treated better than I am now. Not to say that I will. It kind of comes out weird, but I mean, say I was not overweight at all. I don't know that I would notice the difference now. I don't know if I'll notice a difference when I reach optimum weight, which I don't even know what that is, and I might never get there. If it is so different from how I'm treated even today, I don't know. I don't know if there's a big difference, but I do know there's a difference between how I'm treated now to how I was treated 80 pounds ago, over 300 pounds overweight. And that's sad. That's honestly so sad when I think about it. I went years unaware, but that's not to say that I wasn't uncomfortable. Of course I was uncomfortable. I saw people look at me. I was just so used to it. That was so normal for me. I was accustomed to it. So I didn't notice how much better experiences in public for me could be until they did get better. It's really hard to put into words how I'm feeling about this, but it's been on my mind and it's really affected me a lot over the last specifically month or two that I've really started to notice it. And I was just talking to my husband about it the other night because I went to the grocery store, and when I used to go to the grocery store, let me just say this. I am an introverted person. I don't go out in public much. I never have. I didn't when I was 300 pounds, and I don't now. I am an introvert. I stay at home. But I have to do things like grocery shop, and I do like to do things with my son and my husband and my friends. And so I do go out sometimes, but I never have been someone who goes out a lot. I am a homebody. And I have severe social anxiety. And I don't say that lightly. I have severe social anxiety. I've had panic attacks in public. I don't have any specific reason for why it's been that way. I've just always been that way. I can't handle tight crowds. I start to get panicky and I worry that I'm gonna have panic attacks. So I try to like excuse myself. But anyway, this is a whole rant. The point is I avoid going out in public a lot, but I do have to. I live my life, and so it is what it is. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of people I follow a lot of influencers online, weight loss influencers, YouTube weight loss influencers on TikTok, Instagram. All these people have inspired me to do what I'm doing now, to lose the weight, to record some of me losing the weight, to put myself out in the world. All these people have contributed to it. And I've watched so many people talk about like the changes that you experience when you lose significant amounts of weight. It's like a preparation. You watch these videos to hopefully inspire yourself. So I watch these videos of these people that have lost significant amounts of weight and like how their lives have changed. And I allowed it to motivate me. And so I wasn't completely blind to the fact that things would change. I would possibly be treated differently after I've lost the weight. It's just, I guess when you are that uncomfortable in your own skin and your own mind, I was not capable of accepting the fact that I was treated so badly. I was very possibly in denial about it. because looking back now, of course I can see that. So maybe I saw it then and I just didn't want to see it. So even though I watch these people talk about how things changed for them, and there's a part of me that's excited, I could never quite compare that to how I was currently being treated, if that makes sense. And I guess a lot of them contributed to confidence. And that's what I wanted to talk about because, yes, my confidence has increased tenfold. I am not as uncomfortable in my own skin anymore. I've learned to accept things about myself that I actively worked against. I do love myself more today than I did when I was 319 pounds. So when they would talk about this, that they were treated differently in public and that it could very well possibly be the confidence difference, I expected it in a way that I would gain more confidence and I would be treated differently. But in reality, it's the grocery trips that bother me the most because I will go to the grocery store and I am the same person in that grocery store as I was a year and a half ago. And I mean that by I do not have makeup on. I do not have a great outfit. I'm likely in sweatpants and a sweatshirt and they could be stained. My hair is up in a very messy bun. I dress the same going to the grocery store today as I did a year and a half ago. I obviously dress differently in everyday life because I'm learning to love clothing and accessories and things that I would shopping is just a whole different experience for me. And so I am learning to love getting dressed and ready for the day. But when I go to the grocery store, I just throw on whatever and go to the grocery store. So that hasn't changed. And so when I'm in there, particularly, I'm thinking about the other day when I was in Aldi, which really, really started me thinking that I wanted to talk about this. In Aldi, I was wearing a pair of sweatpants that have a hole in the knee. They have paint splatter on the left ankle. And a sweater that has a hole here, a hole here. The neckline is torn. It's my favorite hoodie, and you can tell. And so I didn't look the greatest. I'm pretty sure I had dark circles under my eyes because I didn't sleep well, and my makeup had smeared because I didn't take it off, and my whole hair was like a nest on the top of my head. I did not look the greatest, but I am treated so differently like that than I was dressed the same exact way, or even better, going to the grocery store 80 pounds ago. If I have a question, I get it answered. People meet my eye. They look me in the eye. They smile at me. That has been so noticeable. People would look at me and look away, or they would frown at me. And now people actively smile and try to catch my attention. Random strangers will just talk to you. And that's not confidence. I don't feel like it is when you're going to the grocery store because I am the same person. I am so shy and awkwardly so. And I have resting bee face, okay? I don't look like the friendliest person in public. And so I've never had people come up to me before a year and a half ago. I just wasn't used to it. And when people started doing it, it was shockingly noticeable that people would, because I've just never been someone who people would actively seek out and try and talk to. But now I'll be in a grocery aisle and a woman next to me will ask me a question randomly or strike up a conversation about what kind of rice to buy. And before, they wouldn't look at me. If they looked at me, they would look away or they would give me a dirty look. Or now that's not all the time. I'm being a little dramatic here because in reality, most people just ignored me, but they ignored me. They don't ignore me now. I don't go into a store and get ignored. I get attention, and I'm not meaning that in a conceited way. I mean, the cashier talks to me. They strike up a conversation. Like I said, someone in the aisle will talk to me. People meet my eye. They smile at me. I'm frustrated by this, if you can tell. It's even hard to express myself, and because it hurts. Deep down, it does hurt because even though I didn't realize how bad it was before, I realize now. And thinking back on that girl, Erin, a year and a half ago, had no idea, or at least refused to accept how badly she, I'm going to cry, but try not to get emotional, but she had no idea how badly she was treated. And had I known, had I accepted it at the time, I was already in a dark place. And so maybe I I guess it's just scary to think about because it could have been so much worse. As bad as it was, it could have been so much worse if I had truly accepted this and truly faced it. And so I think about people that I know and people that I don't know and people that I talk to on the internet and that are struggling and that are on their own journeys and they're in different places, and people that just haven't gotten there yet. And they want to so badly. They were like me. They wanted it so badly, but until you're ready, it's just not going to happen. And I think about those people in public, and I think about myself 300 pounds ago, and I compare them to her, except in my mind, those people know and they see it and they aren't in denial like I was. And I am scared for them. And there's nothing I can do. And I have this overwhelming urge when I think too closely about it to do something, but there's nothing that I can do except talk about this. I was obese, overweight, whatever you want to call it. I was unhealthy. I'm not one of those people that thinks you can be as overweight as I was and be healthy. You could be currently, but you won't stay that way. It took facing that. It took accepting that for myself to be able to lose the weight, because I always thought, oh, I go to the doctor, I'm fine. Until I wasn't fine, until things took a turn and I was forced to face the reality that I was slowing myself. And so I'm not one of those people that believes that, but I know how hard it is to take the first steps. It is so hard and everything is against you and everything is fighting back. Keep going. To keep going it's like climbing the steepest mountain and you have no gear and you're barefoot and it's freezing cold, there's snow on the ground. Like, it is just every obstacle in front of you. And to walk out your door, to go to the grocery store, to go to the doctor, overweight is so mentally exhausting, so difficult. How are people expected to fight back, to take on a challenge like this when they're scared to go out their front door? Because in reality, I was. And whether I was willing to accept it or not, that 100% contributed to my social anxiety. I was an overweight person and I slowly let it keep me indoors. And I still to this day struggle with it and keep myself indoors because of it. Because whether I was ready to face it or not, I was treated badly. And it made things like going to the grocery store nearly unbearable. I think the only thing that's going to help anyone is to talk about these things. And I am just me. I am one singular person and I talk to you guys about this because I cannot talk my husband's ear off about it. I cannot talk my best friend's ear off about it. There's a lot of people in my family that don't want to hear about it. So I don't know. I think I am in this place of discovery, or whatever you want to call it, of where everything is changing for me. Some of it slow, some of it fast. And I'm having to confront a lot of realities that I wasn't prepared to confront and probably still am not. Going out in public and people smiling at you and having people come up and talk to you is a great feeling, even with someone with social anxiety. I want to be noticed. Everybody does. I want to be accepted. I want to walk into a room and not have people judge me. That's not reality, though. That is, everyone is judged. I judge other people. It's just human nature. But it doesn't hurt anyone to be kind to other people. And maybe that's asking the world too much. I don't know. Maybe I'm living in like a fantasy world. But it doesn't hurt anyone to be kind to other people. Don't throw your judgment on other people. Yes, I was 319 pounds. It probably offended quite a few people, I guess. I don't know. My weight somehow bothered other people to where they couldn't look me in the eye. They couldn't smile at me. They didn't want to talk to me. And in some cases, they didn't want to help me when I needed help. And I don't mean to lose weight. I mean just simply asking an employee at a store where an item is and then having them being greeted with hostility. It happens more often than you think it does. Being greeted with disdain. It happens more often than you think it does. And so many times I would just look the other way and pretend it wasn't happening. And there's so many different aspects to this, like so many different areas of life it affects. I wanted to lose weight for my health. I wanted to lose weight so I could live longer for my son, so I could do things with him, so I could run with him, play with him, go to the beach with him, go on roller coaster rides with him. I did it so I could get myself out of a very scary, dark place because I was frightened of that place. I didn't lose weight to get skinny, to get noticed, to have people treat me better, because it didn't even cross my mind that that would change, because I wasn't accepting of the fact that it was bad in the first place, that I was treated badly in the first place. It's just an unexpected effect of losing 80 pounds. Now that I'm here, so many things stand out to me, how other people are treated. I see it in everyday life, and I'm not just meaning how people treat me. I see it. I see how other people treat someone that is overweight or even disabled. Like, I am more aware of the world around me, and everyone wants to think the world's good. Not everyone is bad. And I'm not meaning to like make it sound like dark and depressing, and there are good people in the world. But man, the bad stuff stands out to me now, whereas it didn't before. And maybe that's where we are as like a society. I don't know. But it is disheartening, and there is no fix here. It's just talking about it is all we can do. And yeah, I don't know how to find the bright side here. This is just something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and feeling the urge to talk about it compelled me to do that. And so I hope somewhere along the line, this reaches the right people. Be kind to others. Just know that if you're in my position now, or you were in my position, or you're in my position where I was 80 pounds ago, or in whatever position you're in, and this relates to you in some way, just know that you are, as corny as this is going to sound, you're not alone. I was right there with you at one point. I still am. It would be easy to say, don't let what other people think about you and say about you and do around you affect you. But in reality, it does, whether it's affecting you consciously or subconsciously, because clearly it affected me subconsciously. Yeah, that's all I got today. Hopefully the next video will be a little bit more upbeat. I'll talk about some positives. And as you move through your life and you go to the grocery store, smile, don't scowl, and remember, you don't know everybody's story. You have no idea what's going on in everybody's life. And even to those people that scowled at me or said mean things to me, they could have been having a bad day. They could have been having the worst day of their life. I don't know. And so even now, I try to move through my days in my life, remembering that I don't know what other people are going through. And even when I'm treated badly, I try to be kind, because that's all we can do. Treat others how we want to be treated. And so I'm going to leave you with that. And I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye.